Good evening and welcome to AFL NT's coverage of Friday night football on the 25-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League Round 15 clash at TIO Stadium on Larrakia Country. This evening, second place PINT takes on third place St Mary's. It'll be an absolute beauty tonight. My name is Nick Danks, my commentary partner this evening, Will Zwar. Will, good to be with you this evening, and should be a great game.
Yeah, it should be. I haven't seen a lot of PINT this year, to be honest with you, so I'm curious to see what has, I guess, brought them to, first place for a lot of the last couple of weeks, up until I think just after Christmas they dropped back into second. And St Mary's, as we know, you never want to write them off, but they're also having a really strong season and a really purple patch at the moment. They're probably the informed team of the competition right now. Obviously that man on screen now, Dylan Lance, celebrates game number 100. I think he's got the 2 Nichols medals to his name, a couple of premierships as well. He's done most of it. He's coming third or fourth in goal kicking for the league as well, which is somewhere he probably, and like many of us, didn't think he would be at this point, but who knows, maybe there's a Dennis Dunn trophy up his sleeve as well to add to the trophy cabinet. Yeah,
last week he went missing for the first half and then took over the game in the second half. So Mary's coming tonight's game in outstanding form. They won their last 5 games and last week were clinical against Wanderers, winning by 128 points. PINT bounced back last week after a tough loss a couple of weeks ago to Southern Districts, but they were in control all night and defeated the Tiwi Bombers by 37 points. The last time these two sides met was in round 4. PINT coming from behind in the first quarter to defeat St Mary's by 12 points. Weather tonight, breeze to the right of screen, which is to the airport end, 28 degrees. There are a chance of a thunderstorm, and we're expecting some really heavy rain into Darwin tomorrow morning. So hopefully we get this couple of hours out of the road before all that comes in tonight. So big one tonight, and we suppose with 2 taking on 3, Will, got to make a selection.
I think it's going to be Saints with a double. They've already won the first one tonight with the women taking out a 29-point win, 50 points to 21 earlier. I think the men will do it in similar fashion. It might be a bit tighter for longer, and then they'll kick the last couple of goals.
Yeah, so Mary's going to have to come out a little bit stronger than they did in the first week against Wanderers. I know they came away with a 128-point win, but it really came in the second half where they just dominated from then on. If they give PINT that opportunity to get that in front of the first half, they might struggle to get back because the pace and the fitness of PINT as we're underway here at TIO Stadium.
And taking it straight out of the ruck, there's Connor McDonald, and he kicks it inside the forward 50. A little forward pressure punch comes from the centre half forward. Riola wearing the helmet tonight. He wraps up his opponent. Ball spills out forward. Quick pace as Riola gets a handball out. And then they just try and kick it high and long to get out of the danger zone. Connor West at the fall of the ball, couldn't take the mark. Bit of impact. Here comes, it's popped out here to Rowe inside 50. He'll have a shot on goal early. Didn't quite hit it right. Should be a mark, and I think it is a mark going the way of PINT. James Boyer, tight in the pocket. He's maybe having a little bit of a clack on his head. He's just stretching it out, rolling out his neck a bit. He's looking inside, not feeling 100% confident. Positioning up for a snap, he'll open up the angle. Very tight, but he opens the account inside the first minute. PINT get the first 6 points on the board.
Yeah, run through very well there. Of course, PINT in the white uniform tonight, and St Mary's traditional green and gold, kicking it to the right of screen. But a good start there for PINT. First one on the board after a couple of minutes. Decent crowd in here for a Friday night as well. But of course, PINT's home ground just directly across the road, and St Mary's pretty much on the other side where the flags are.
Earlier this year, I think it was just a 12-point margin. That was in favour of PINT. And their run pre-Christmas, I think they lost just the 1 game, and that was 2 Southern Districts out at Fred's Pass. Since then, they've been humbled a couple of times, but an opportunity to match it with, as we said, probably the informed team of the competition at the moment. Another free kick. This time out of the middle, it will go the way of McDonald again. Ooh, good mark there from Fraunfelder. Inside 50, he goes looking for Timms. Tries to find the next chain in the link. And it'll be a free kick going to Rowe.
Yeah, I think he got him for intentionally knocking that one out of bounds.
So he has a shot on goal. That one's gone across the face that time. And an early blemish as well for PINT. Lant in his 100th game. I think that's his first touch. He'll get it back for a second pretty quickly. Now out to flag. Mark taken down that far side. Saints slowly building here. Davies pushes it to high half forward. Oh, flying in from the back there was McCarthy. That was a pretty good go at it. Didn't take the mark, and it spills out over the boundary line.
And the two of the Lamp boys out there tonight, Jack and Dylan. We've played a couple of weeks with all three of them out there.
Comes off hands from McDonald. Advantage paid. Rowe on that far side. Oh, held up a little bit by Braunful. Now he pushes it. That's a beautifully weighted kick. Barely had to break stride there. Now he goes across the face. Oh, and another great kick. This time it's marked by Wilson just inside the forward 50.
Getting into a slight breeze directly in front, though, here. Push this towards the left post. Distance might be a trouble, though, so he might just hook this one a bit. A couple of big guys back on the line.
Flag's pretty dull at the moment, so not too much wind on that far side. We know there's that channel between the grandstand and the long centre. Oh, that one started left. Oh, mark not taken. And spilled through for A behind.
Yeah, he's pushed that left on purpose, as you said, Will, because of the gap in the grandstand there, but it just didn't come back because he kept it fairly low.
So Rioli, he launches it. Gee, that's a really long kick looking out to West. He'll play on through the middle of the ground. They stream. Not much up forward to go to. Braunful over the top looking for Yaron. Oh, that's well weighted. Nearly copped a fist in the face as well there from Ethan Smith, but that won't bother him. He'll go back. Gee, that was really good running from the green machine then.
Yes, their first inside 50. So far, Pint have had 4 inside 50s. And this is the first time St Mary's have gone forward. And of course, same as last week, be really interested to see how Southern Districts use Luke Patterson. He pretty well last week, but there's been a couple of weeks they've sort of gone over the top of him.
Oh, he loves that one. And Saints get there first. 2-point ball game early in the first quarter here.
And just that Connor West coming through the middle there, he was an absolute star last week. He just took them on control in that first half and helped them lead through. As we watch the replay here, there's West handballing it off, and then just a lovely chip in. Yaron on his own, and also behind the back of him was Patterson. And this is a lovely kick by Nick Yaron. He's done a couple of these here at this ground.
Yaron off for a spell in the interchange. Coming on is Jack Lant. He'll go straight into the middle. And there's a lot of experience on that St Mary's bench. Taken out of the middle now. Or here's Lant to Lant. Both of them getting involved straight away. Now Braunful on the wing. Pushes it out there. Offerman's back into Lant. Got plenty to choose from behind him on that half-back line. Might have to go there because there's not a lot up forward. So they'll go for the long switch. Oh, gee, I'm not sure if that was the option. He's made Dewsbury work hard for it. Oh, he's brought to ground by his opponent. Free kick there against Griffin. And he just sort of had too much of his jumper there. Brought him to ground without the ball.
Good decision by the umpire there, waiting to see whether advantage would drop for him, but then pulled up a free kick. So, well done, umpire.
Oh, gee, that's a wide kick. He's kept it wide, stayed in, and then punched out over the boundary line. Good gaining ground there for Saints. This game's just dulled out a little bit the last minute or two. Now both have found their feet. Very high one, that'll fall in short, or I think it's tapped it into the head of McDonald, of Wilson it was. And then McDonald picks it up. Puts on a tackle, will come out to Jack Lant, very tight on the boundary line, has to kick it inside that corridor. Comes off Vallejo's hands. Patterson putting on a chase. So too there was Smithson, but they get a kick out wide. Mark not taken there by Robinson. And so there's a little bit of a foot race on here. Frauenfelder couldn't keep up with him, and the Saints rebound forward. Oh, good fly in from the back. Maybe a bit too much there from Schwarzenberg. Advantage will be made. Oh, shouldn't have been taken though. That was an absolutely dreadful kick off the boot. And then it's belted out of there by Murphy short. High one, should be a textbook mark, and it is there. And so now Patterson, a long way from home, just beckoning for someone to give him a lead. Loads up from a long way out. Top of the goal square he goes, comes off hands and spills through for a point.
Yeah, I'd like to see Patterson back in the goal square there and somebody else bombing that ball in, and he's come a long way forward to try and get a kick. It has worried me about St Mary's coming into finals time, that full forward position there.
So short kicking in from fullback, he'll take a few steps first. And Crisp. McDonald's gotten it off to Stevens, down the line he goes. Now with Beer. Good spot in the middle to Campion. And now with Boyer, he kicked that early goal. Goes into the pocket all by himself there. Frauenfelder, oh, he sells a bit of Canada one. Rolls around, opens up the angle and snaps towards goal. Not enough on it, and it's marked on the last line. He'll play on now. On the half volley, Braunthal gets a handball over the top to Lant. Spins through his opponent. That little stub pass that he does so typically. Gets it down the line now to Offermans. Paredes takes a mark. Just pokes it to the top of the 50. Spills out over the boundary line.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much on that one there. Probably needed the overlapping player to chip that one too, rather than a big long one down the wing.
Comes off Faulkner's hands in the ruck. Picked up on a half back on the run there from Crisp. And then kicked inside the forward 50. Good defensive mark there from Ryan. Short one will find Marr. And then he goes laterally to Shot. His kick landed in the middle of three of his teammates and they couldn't take it cleanly, and Saints now with the chance to rebound. Lant, he kicks it inside the forward line. West the target of it. Good fist in there from Ryan again. But there's still a bit of work to do. West, he can pick it up, roll back through now. He centres it. Paredes takes the mark inside the forward 50 and just says to settle down a bit. Gives it off to Lant. In his 100th game, winds up. Pretty good kick on it, and he loves it. No. Just missed it.
Ooh, I would have put money on them scoring from there. He has for the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's picked those ones up on the run and just topped it in, but just that one just went narrow there.
He wanted that one as well early in his 100th. There'd be a little bit of not pressure on him to do it, but you think he'd love to celebrate with one, just the way he's been kicking goals this year as well.
Ties it all up here.
Ryan long down the line. A few big long kick-ins from full-back tonight already. That one clears the pack, but as you say, whistle blown. So Connor McDonald will have the kick from just behind centre circle. Oh, gee, not a good one out wide. You think he's going to get it back here. Should be offering support. He's just loping around behind the play. Saints, meanwhile, doing what they can to win the ball, and Rioli picks it up, gets a handball up. And maybe they got away with one there. No, Rioli with the free kick, looking to move pretty quickly down the line to Vallejo. He can turn and keep going. Couldn't take the ball cleanly, but The ball was somewhat still in his advantage. Turns his opponent inside out from the top of the 50, goes to the top of the goal square. Ryan, he hits the deck, and now handball comes out wide. Trying to get to it here will be Amory. Picks it up, bounces off an opponent, loses the ball in the process. Now going back to try and collect it again. Driven to ground. Umpire pings him for holding the ball. So PINT with a free kick in their back line now. Look for the cross to Schwarzenberg, and they've got a few runners here. One of them will be Ma. They've got Stevens a little bit further down the line, maybe a bit too tight now. So they just bomb it down the line, trying to keep it in, and keeping it in was bad. No, it's taken out over the boundary line.
That looked close, didn't it? Got to do a big shout out though to the groundskeepers. 4:30 last Saturday. This was a swimming pool, and done an outstanding job to get this ground in this standard day. So well done to the ground staff here at TIO Stadium.
Yeah, quite comical scenes. It was turning into a bit of a lake or a lagoon or something, and you wouldn't think it's looking this pristine just 7 days later, or 6 days later. Lant works it forward now, comes off the hands of McCarthy. Well, good strong tackle from Musgrove. Maybe drove him into the ground without the ball, but he's pinged for holding. McCarthy will take advantage, and West bounces off his chest, so maybe they're happy that it'll be brought back.
It's really strange for the advantage rule that he can't. You've got to kick over the mark, I understand, but there was one that was a clear advantage, and we're coming all the way back to the centre of the ground.
So now Musgrove kicks it into that centre corridor, comes off hands. West, check side, will go to the goal line. Patterson trying to wrestle his way through. No. Oh, it is touched, so not through for a goal. I think Patterson's trying to plead for his teammate that it was a 6-pointer, but he won't fully umpire that easily.
Yeah, the goal umpire was right next to them when it went up, so good decision there. Let's put St Mary's in front by a point, though.
Ryan kicks it down the line. Wilson, tackled into an opponent there. Still fighting for the ball, tough as nails. Now over the top and trying to run through his Tims. We'll come to Paredes. He's wrapped up instantaneously as well. Trying to feign a little handball there was Musgrove. Hits someone's boot and dribbles out the side. Then a bit of a swing comes from Faunfelder. Works back, and Jacob Long knows as soon as he gets rid of it, it's not a good kick. Tries to follow up with a shoulder through his opposition. Flag with a good punch. Keeps it in front of him. Flag's done really well here, then almost followed up with a tackle himself. Now comes to Spiteri, and he pushes out onto the high forward flank. Rowe can turn and go. He does. Now into the hands of Truan.
Ran a long way to get to that ball, Truan did, and bringing him round again on the mark.
And he just puts a short, sharp one there onto the chest of Spiteri.
Put a fair bit of running because initially got the ball in the centre of the ground there, has kept going through. Truan spotted him up, and chance to put PINT back in front.
Relatively tight angle, not as tight as James Boyers, which opened their account, but he likes it straight off the boot, and he puts their second goal through for the evening. PINT reclaim the lead, this time by 5 points, 2-2-14 to Saints 1-3-9.
One thing I was worried about, Will, and I've said it the last couple of weeks about St Mary's, they played really, really high up the ground. Of course, they lost their big full forward halfway through the season, but I think they've really got to give the opportunity for Luke Patterson just to becoming a true full forward, because as you come into finals, if you start playing half a ground of football, some of these big sides are going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a perfect opportunity for him to play that full forward role. Obviously, we know Jackson Calder went down earlier in the season with a knee injury. They do seem to have a few targets up there, but they just haven't quite settled on their best combination, and maybe that's part of the chaos to sort of, always keep the opponents guessing. But I think if they can try and lock someone down, that in those big games, it's probably going to be Patterson kicking those big bags.
Well, he's kicked 2 big bags this season. He kicked 5 last week against Wanderers and 7 against the TIO Bombers, which was the week before Jackson Calder went down. So just really would like to see St Mary's just play a full forward role.
Now kick into the forward line from the Saints. And Chalmers, playing on land, has just muscled his way to the fall of the ball better. Finally he does. And Yaron, he goes inside the forward 50, clears the pack. Now back there, trying to win the ball. There's Offman's, and it'll be the umpire's ball. Tapped down by Patterson. And it's just through for it. No, it's a goal. So Patterson finally gets that goal.
Yeah, we've tried to get that was what I'm trying to do with Patterson there. He's gone forward and kicked that goal, and it's a great one there. You're watching AFL NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV as we're getting in it to the end here very closely of the first quarter.
And a tight one here, as we all thought. A little bit slower, Danksy. We thought it was going to be really fast-paced, really hard contest. Probably the last 10 minutes or so, maybe even longer than that. It's really sort of slowed down and been a bit of a duller contest than you'd like. But I think both teams are looking at this as a really important game to win. They don't want to do anything too brash and silly and play themselves out of it.
Both these sides coming off 6-day break after playing in that really heavy wet last week, so on a heavy grounds, so it would have taken the legs out of them.
And Nightcliff nipping at their heels in 4th spot as well. They'll be pretty keen on a double chance as well. Now comes out Vallejo, hassled without the ball, paid a free kick. Did very well there to not take possession, but keep possession in a way as well, Danksy. We'll now do a short one out to Long. Clears the pack. Yaron was at the fall of it, still putting in a bit of chase, and rolls through for another behind. Saints double their lead. 2 points the margin.
Yeah, 2-2 forward to 2-4-16. Coming up to about 3 minutes to go of the first quarter. Drewsby Musgrave has been off the ground a fair while, and Ryan Crisp waiting to come on.
Gee, Pint could go end to end here. Here comes Spiteri. Run down, tried to handball it to his own advantage, and he was tackled without it, so earns himself a free kick rather cheekily. He looks to play on now, goes into that centre corridor, kicks across the face, trying to run down there is Rowe, gets a handball out now. Here's Truan, he's also got a few to contend with. Won't be as easy as that against a premiership contending defence, Danksy. I was going to say a premiership defence, but they were runners-up last year. They'll be still pretty keen to make amends for that, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still the best performing defence in the league by about 100 points, and I had a quick look during the day, but had an outstanding season the defence of St Mary's have.
And that's with both of their byes already been played as well. Oh, big strong tackle there from Lant on Rowe.
Yeah, 543 points against them this season. The closest one to them is Waratah with 657, so they've definitely stood up as the best defence in the league this season. And just a quiet percentage of 181.95.
It's pretty handy, isn't it? And they usually say that percentage is the true marker of where teams lie in terms of best to worst. They must be sitting pretty close to the top, if not top on that front as well.
Yeah, they are significantly on that. The next closest one's 158, which is Southern Districts.
Kick high and wide, not taken. Done very well there to keep it in. Smithson just goes through hands. Lance Picks it up, breaks away. He has a snap on goal this time, and he loves that off the boot. Celebrating game 100 in style. Breaks the lead out now to 8 points, and Dylan Lant, what a goal that was to set the tone.
Yeah, it has that first one he missed earlier in the quarter is very unlike him. He's certainly all this the last 3 or 4 weeks I've seen him snap those ones through. He was absolutely critical of them beating Tigers at home on that afternoon when they came back late, and last week he just came through in the second quarter. And he'd been relatively quiet in the first quarter and came back and probably picked up a couple of match votes with that one as well. Although I think West was probably the best on ground last week, Connor West.
You can see that Lant, as soon as he kicked it, he knew it hit the sweet spot. That first one as well, maybe not. He was trying to wheel it back home and just didn't quite have it in it. But that one hit the sweet spot as soon as it touched the boot. Looks like Smith is running with him at the moment. Chalmers has also had a bit of a crack on him tonight as well. Rowe running back through traffic in the middle of the ground. We'll give it off to a runner caught on his wrong side. So Ryan will come through. Oh, he was run down, impacted the kick. Now here comes Lant of the Jack variety. Pushes it out wide. It'll be Robinson just trying to find a teammate. Oh, that's a good smother there coming from Ethan Smith.
Yeah, Curtis McCarthy was short for that one too as well. Outside of the pack, they could have just dropped that one a little bit shorter. They were out over the back.
Punch down. Yaron had to get it as he was falling to the deck, and Lant, he takes it, goes to full forward now. Siren will beat them, and Patterson, if he'd had an extra second, it would have rolled through for a goal, but it wasn't to be. Instead, an 8-point lead is what they will have to settle for. 3-4-22, St Mary's leading PINT 2-2-14. And a pretty good first quarter in the end, Danksy. Yeah, absolutely. Good second half of that quarter there by St Mary's. Ended up with 9 inside 50s to 7. Free kicks pretty much even, 7-5. You're watching AFL-NT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. We'll be back shortly with the second quarter.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in this clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
we're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Top End Footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top-end footy. Nothing comes close.
And then when you're ready, Danksy, just give a thumbs up to Harley.
Let's have a look at the replay here from the first quarter. Some highlights. Lovely chip in here. This was Nicholas Sharon from me. Yes, it was. Who came in, Will, and just popped that one over the top for a good start there for St Mary's to get their first score on the board.
Yeah, well way to go there. Then that was Noah Spiteri who got their second on the board for PINT. And how about this one? This is the pick of the bunch so far. Dylan Lant, game 100. And as soon as he kicked that, you can see, knew it was going to be a good one off and through. Extended their lead out to 8 points at quarter time. St Mary's in a pretty good position so far and a must-win game for both of these sides. So having a quick look at the ladder, Danksy, you think this is probably a little bit more important for the boys wearing white tonight? PINT.
Yeah, I did some maths just quickly then. I've got them only winning one more game, and then, of course, they've got Nightcliff towards the end of the season because they've got the bye next week. But St Mary's could win all four if they win tonight. We've also got Waratah could win 3 games, and we've got the Tigers, Nightcliff, winning all 4 of theirs as well, and St Mary's winning all their 4. So PINT could actually drop for as low as 4th. At one stage of the season, they were a game and a half on top of the ladder.
It's been a funny fixture this second half of Christmas, the second half of the season, with the bottom 3 sides, only one match featuring both of those, and it means that for the rest of the games, it's pretty tough for them, but for the rest of the competition, they have those sort of bottom-rung teams giving them a pretty handy run into finals. Of course, you want to make sure you are still playing some competitive footy, but it makes the maths a really interesting prospect when you look at the ladder.
Yeah, the buys and the soft games, it affected Southern Districts a couple of years ago where they got into the finals and pretty much were bundled out because of the lack of preparation leading into finals footy. But quickly though, with 100 game of Dylan Lant, the last couple of weeks he got 3 against Wanderers, 6 against Tiwi, 3 against Palmerston, 2 against Nightcliff and 3 against Southern Districts. That's a pretty handy run of goals coming in. And of course there's that big medal coming up at the end of the season. It's not bad to get 24 goals from the role he plays.
And there's a trophy for kicking goals as well, which he's not too far off the leaderboard for that either. So could be a few things coming his way. Brilliant mark and half back there going to Davies. One-handed grasp, if you don't mind. Now looks down the line. Smith's in the target and takes it uncontested. He's got a lead from Yaron very wide and high, which is where he's going to go. Kept it alive just. And then he pushes it inside the forward line now looking, that's a good mark again, running back with the flight there. Curtis McCarthy, who's probably along with Patterson, the other danger target in that forward line. They've got plenty of crummers, but I think if they sort of work McCarthy and Patterson in tandem, they can really work out which one they want to keep in the goal square and which one they want to keep roaming that half-forward line.
Yeah, they started this quarter with Kirst in the goal square there, and Patterson playing just up forward of him, and basically that's what's happened there is Curtis has come out of the square to take this mark, and Patterson's dropped back behind him. So that's the sort of stuff I'd like to see more of from St Mary's.
McCarthy's kick is on the way. Well, umpire didn't move. It was a tight angle and it just hit the post on the way through. So PINT in that back pocket. Again, it hasn't been the fast-paced contest that we expected, Danksy. Still pretty laboursome at the moment. That kick out of bounds on the full. Land, you don't want to give it over to him too often, do you?
No, not from that sort of area as he runs around.
On his preferred as well, and one's high and across the face. Not his best effort, and it's taken over there by Jacob Maloney.
And he placed that ball in right against the point post.
Comes out now, West lurking and waiting. Oh, gee, he's got a big hook on that one. Yaron at the fall of it, deep in the pocket. Fair way away from the goal, spills out over the boundary line. And earlier in the season when these two sides played, Danksy, it was a close, pretty low-scoring contest as well. If I remember, it was about 40 to 52 or 50 to 62 or something like that. Just the 2 goals between them. And only about 2 goals a quarter scored. So seems to be following that trend tonight.
Yeah,
all running through now, shot on goal. And the Saints, they added another one to their tally in this quarter. That one will go to Charlton Offermans.
Yeah, right, Will. That game, PINT got 5-6 at half-time to 4-5. The game ended up 9-10 to 7-10. So a couple of late ones there for PINT in the second quarter. Got him across the line, 4 goals to 3 in the second half.
So that margin now extended out to 15. And again, if it is going to follow this trend of a relatively low-scoring game, PINT want to make sure the margin doesn't blow out much beyond this.
No, because St Mary's this year have certainly bounced back. That big one against Nightcliff is absolutely memorable the way they came back that afternoon.
McDonald wrapped up, drops the ball, umpire lets it go. Punched through. Ooh, turning back through traffic is long, nearly ran down. That one will beat his teammate and his opponent, so Braunthal gets onto it first, gives it out to Lamp, opens up his preferred side. McCarthy. Oh, good weighted kick. And Patterson's just done a very good job there at holding his ground and taking the mark. I think Short is trying to claim he got a finger in it, but the umpire's not buying that one either.
More likely to be a push at the back than to touch ball, but Patterson did well, judged it perfectly, took the overhead mark, and is getting back to line up for his second of the day.
So in he comes, his first one was a bit of a hack off the ground from the goal square, a crumbing goal. This one more the key forward marker that he likes, and that one he's pretty happy with as well. Puts through his second, and that margin now out to, what are we now, 21 points, Danksy?
Yeah, big one, of course. Don't forget, on Saturday the 24th of January here at TIO Stadium, we've got representative football back. This is going to be a big one. We're looking forward to this. Experiencing an NTFL All-Star Saturday, celebrating some of the territory's best football talent. We've got the Spears and the Heat, and tickets are now available for that. 4 games of footy on the Saturday, under 18 boys and girls, and then the women's and the men's representative games. Good mark there by Patterson.
Yeah, fantastic work by Patterson, one of the best forwards in the competition at the moment. And of course, you are going to see the best players in the competition in those exhibition matches next weekend.
It's going to be interesting to see how mate versus mate goes in that one as well. There'll be a couple of digs coming in, but of course, we've still got finals footy to cover some of those players.
Yeah, a few renewed friendships and a few renewed rivalries, I'm sure, as Lant gets a handball over the top. to his brother, and then comes out to West. Those three have been dominating the midfield for a number of years now. Vallejo gets it out. West kept running. He has a shot on goal now as well. Umpire's just pushing for it across the face and punched through there by Maloney.
We're worried about Pine here. It's 7 inside 50s to 1 this quarter already. We've been going just nearly 5 minutes, and St Mary's absolutely dominating at the moment.
Ryan kicks it long and high. McDonald couldn't take the mark, and Rose there to Crum. He pushes down the line looking for Spiteri. In fact, that's Bear. And it comes off his hands and spills out over the boundary line. 22 points the margin now. McDonald taps it down. Went beyond Rowe. And then Offermans, he kicks it inside the forward line. It'll be a free kick going to Patterson. Maybe number 3's coming up for him. Looks in board. Nothing really standing out to him, and no one really making any moves. So it's been decided that he'll go back and have a shot on goal. This is well within his range. He's kicked some long goals this year. Flags at the moment doing all sorts. They are sort of pushing from your commentary side across the ground, but not with a lot of strength. See how well he can read it here. Oh, gee, that one's it's taken the path of the wind there across the face and out of bounds on the full.
Hard area of the ground to kick a goal in from on this ground. Remember an NT Thunderground final where we managed to pinch one from there, but there's a very hard spot on the ground to kick a goal. Yeah, that breeze comes between the two stands there and just pushes the ball wide. It's exactly what happened then.
So Chalmers, he pushes it out wide. Mark not taken by McDonald. Instead, it bounces off his chest and spills over the boundary line. In fact, it's out on the full, so Paredes is going to relaunch it back into the forward 50. No, he hesitates, goes back on his mark. Umpire's just conferring, and I think we're going to have a boundary throw in instead. Nope, it's going to go to Paredes. Short one to land. Goes into Patterson, bounces off his chest. In fact, that was Offermans, who's also been somewhat prominent in their forward line. Not as much height or potentially, I guess, that key forward factor that McCarthy and Patterson have. But Offermans has been another target in that forward line from time to time as well, Danksy.
Yeah, it's because I said I'm interested to see how they line this one up, because I said halfway through the season and coming into finals, having a dedicated full forward is certainly going to help.
Strip to the ball there was Stevens. And Pint get the free kick. So it will go to Stevens, maybe taken without it.
There's a lot more on this side of the ground than there is in there. If he looks up and across, there's a couple loose in the middle. Back down that wing though.
Mark wasn't taken there by McDonald. Instead, the Saints have numbers to try and figure it out. Oh, high tackle there on Rowe by Crisp. Hard not to get him high when he's that little there, but free kick's got to be paid when it's there. Oh, they've nearly spotted someone out. They have spotted someone out. Running through James Boyer into the pocket. He goes. Comes off the hands of Truan. And now trying to get it involved is Bates. Overrunning it there was Robinson. Bates taken to ground there by Grant. And we'll have a ball up just outside the forward 50 for Pint. Haven't really looked likely this quarter at all, have they, Danksy?
No, not at all. I'm a bit worried it's a 9 inside 50s to 2 at the moment, and both of the two gone forward. Been cut off pretty well.
Now, with Dewsbury to Paredes. Comes off hands. Handball forward. Short. Oh, it's intercepted, and Saints work it forward again. Oh, here we go, McCarthy. He couldn't take the mark. tries to toe poke it forward. Surely that one was in danger. McCarthy kept running, kept his feet, buys himself some time and space, snaps on goal. That one goes through. That's got to be goal of the night as well. What a ripper that was, and puts the margin out now to 28 points. They're just slowly creeping away here.
Yeah, the worrying side for PINT here is in the last 5 weeks, the Mary's have allowed 2 goals, 8 goals, 5 goals, 9 and 7. And the 9 was against Nightcliff when they came back and kicked a winner late in the game. So Mary's coming into, halfway through the second quarter, have already got 6 on the board, and I just can't see, PINT's going to have to get 10, 11 or 12 to get back into this one. And just at the moment, I don't see where it's going to come from. But they were on top of the ladder for a fair part of the season, so they are a good side, PINT. They just need to settle down and put their best game back forward.
Yeah, you can see that they've got the talent on the park there tonight. It's just not quite clicking as they'd like it to. Whether that is going to happen tonight and help bring them back into the game, we don't know. But they need to make sure that as we do head into finals, they're able to recalibrate when they're in these sorts of situations. Almost 5 goals down is not a place you want to be against the best when you need to win the games. Ball now goes inside 50 again. Saints just keep going. West tries to keep it in his advantage. Ball spills out over the boundary line.
And of course, they've got some of the players the next week, of course, will be playing in the rep footy, but the week after that, they've got the bye, so they've got a large break between now and the finals.
Yeah, it's a tough task coming down from where they are now, but if there's a time to do it, it's now, when you know that most of your team has got a fortnight, 3 weeks almost to recover before their next outing.
Into the post, there are some Mary's player, and just keep an eye and see if he's up and fine.
Vallejo chasing the ball there. Uses the ground to help him pick it up, or coming through from the side. I think that was McCarthy again. So he does have a bit of presence up there. But I still think Patterson's to go for that full forward spot.
Yeah, as I said, looks like they did a switch from some, the Saints haven't moved him to centre half forward and moved Patterson to centre half forward.
Now Patterson's putting on Chase on half back. Maloney working it down to centre half forward. Oh, breaking through, there's Truan bursting away. Oh, he faced the wrath there of Dewsbury with a bit of a tackle, and now Dewsbury will rebound. So Saints very stingy on that half-back line. They don't want to let anything through easy tonight as Paredes and Yaron work together with Lant now. He's got his brother on the fat side, or instead West was there, juggled the mark, and in the end it was his undoing. Hits the deck. PINT looking to rebound pretty quickly now. Now comes through. And kick forward by Timms. Rowe gets it up. Ball ping-ponging around in the forward line and kicked off there by by Brown into that forward line. And Long does well to get rid of his opponent, gives it off to Rioli. Turns around in the goal square. Cool hands. And I think it was decked as he got rid of it there. Umpires let it go. Advantage paid. Paredes now takes it on the wing. Kicks it to Land. Thought about going again, but then it holds his hands up and says, no, I'll go back and take my kick. Well weighted, and a good option in the end is he's found a teammate in the pocket there in Musgrove, who will go back and have a shot from a pretty good angle.
It's been a fair bit of time on the boundary line. Musgrove had to wait to come on because the ball was always on the other side of the ground, and she got his opportunity, and he's get a chance to line up for his first of the night.
So in comes Musgrove. Umpires had to work hard for that one, but it's gone through for a major, and that margin now out to 35 points.
Yeah, it's a big one with 3 weeks of the regular season after this round. So Mary's got Darwin Buffaloes, Waratah, and their final season game will be against Palmerston. So you'd have to think they were favourites in all 3 of those. PINT next week's got the bye, of course, so the next game has the bye. They've got 2 games remaining of the season, Darwin Buffaloes, and they end at home against the Nightcliff Tigers. That could be a very deciding game for round about 3rd or 4th, you would think, for the Tigers as well. With St Mary's got a couple of good run home. You think they would win all 3 games, and if they come away with this one tonight on top of the 128-point win last week, puts them already in the top 2, you would think.
That round 18 game could be a fight for the double chance. In the end, only one of those sides you think is going to make this top 3. Southern Districts and St Mary's currently the front runners as PINT move into their forward line. Quick off the mark there, and it's taken by Rowe. Just used his pace and his nous better than Rioli to find the best spot for that mark. Knew where it was coming.
Yeah, they're pretty stingy, this St Mary's defence. He looked devastated about that one, getting beat up to that mark. Rioli did. Left-hand goalpost he's got to go for.
Oh, he listened to you there, Danksy. Beautifully kicked, and adds PINT's first goal of this second quarter.
Yeah, it's a big one there, of course. Other games this round on tomorrow, 2 o'clock at Tracy Village. The Tiwi Bombers take on the Darwin Buffaloes. 6 p.m. at Gazelles Arena, Palmerston and the Tigers. And 6:30 tomorrow night at Gardens Oval, Waratah and Wanderers for round 15. Let's watch the replay here. Just a nice mark by Rowe. And an even better kick.
PINT just looking to, again, we know they've got a rest in a couple of weeks, but it feels like they're just waiting for this halftime break to come. They get a bit of rest in legs before they come out and attack this deficit that they've found themselves in. Now 29 points. Breaking away there, Boyer from Yarran inside the forward 50 he goes. Looks like Tim's just been moved up there. Maybe he's another option there forward line. Truan told to keep moving, almost taken without it. Now with Brown, he pokes it through. Pfister from Braunthal when he probably could have taken it, and now Grant's driven into the ground. Stevens appealing for the free kick. Truan kicks it high. Running through there, and Wilson, he puts a tackle on, picks it up. Oh, he's taken the ground without it. Maybe he was going to have a shot on goal. Saints just pick it up and get it out of there. Mark not taken by Paredes, but West clean as a whistle.
Ooh, tripped.
Oh, he was tripped, and they're not too happy with Tom Schwarzenberg there.
Yeah, reported here. You'd have to be stuck that leg out then, and there was just one thing in mind, and you just can't do that. Lucky not to break a leg doing that. Yeah, the umpire's having a chat to him.
And when you've got a bye coming up as well, it's not a good time to be missing games.
Yes, watch this on replay. Just look worse in real than it does there. Just more clumsy there. He looked like he was off-footed, but still might be in a bit of trouble.
So Rioli, he comes across now to flag. He's got long if he wants short, but I think he might go longer than that. And now Braunthal will have to go back to long in the end. Put some pressure on. He does so quite well. Ball spills out over, and it's deliberate. So
yeah, I was going to say that looked as deliberate as ever going to be. If he got away with that, I was surprised.
Hard yards done there from Jacob Long.
Yeah.
Crowd not happy with that at all. And
no.
some of them very happy, depending on what colour, what tone of green you're wearing, Danksy.
That was right in front of us. That's a really good decision by the umpire, because he had no other idea there than just to drop that ball over the boundary line.
Comes through hands. Ooh, and that's not a good kick from Musgrove. Out on the full, more out than in that one. And the Bronx cheers follow.
Yep, the local supporters across the road have decided that the footy gods are on their side. It's about 15 metres different from where it went out before, so good news for PINT.
On half back, Schwarzenberg. Might be missing a couple of weeks. Pushes it out wide to Short. He now goes down the line. Goes through the hands of Smith. Wilson paddles it forward. PINT might work this out here. They get it to half forward now. 2-on-1 beckons. The one's done very well there in Zach Robinson and puts it out of bounds. So this is that deliberate again.
He just threw that over. It was directly in front of us, right below us here, and you could see it clearly. He only had one thought in his mind.
Faulkner on McDonald in the ruck. Looks like McDonald's gotten it down, trying to find Stevens, almost fighting with his teammate for that as Rowe extracts it and works it. Very well way to kick to Truan. Rioli hot on his tail, but just not enough. So Truan's trying to gain himself a few extra yards, and I think he's one out there with the umpire. Not sure how the negotiating skills from Truan have gone there, but he's had his way.
He's getting told exactly where to put this one.
Again, the flag's not doing a heap at the moment. Doesn't have to worry as much about the wind down this end, but still up for consideration. That one has sailed through, hooked a little bit and through for a point. So reduces the margin somewhat. Now just a 28-point deficit.
15 inside 50s to 8 this quarter, so to only be 28 points down, it's a pretty good position for PINT because it could have been a lot worse.
Out long they go. Braunthal trying to win the ball in the air. Now just tackles Wilson to the ground. I think the ball is smushed up in there somewhere. It's getting a little bit tempered out there, isn't it, Danksy? Just on the eve of half-time.
Yeah, I think PINT just want to get in out of this one and regroup. Had a little bit better second half of this quarter.
But still, just doesn't feel like all the links in the chain are clicking as they should be. They're all there, but they're just not having the cleanest night out on the field, are they? McDonald on Faulkner in the ruck again. McDonald probably behind White, Ryan and Dennis, the two monsters out at Southern Districts. One of the rucks of the year. One of the most consistent performers. And he's very capable at ground level as well as St Mary's now run forward. Short gets a handball over the top. PINT on half back, just trying to work it forward. Rowe gets through land, or gets a handball away in the nick of time, and they just get it out of there, trying to fly through. I think that was Faulkner. West, he's taken the ground as well. He's copying it from all angles tonight, isn't he? And I think he's earned himself a free kick. He'll be looking forward to an ice bath in about an hour's time, I think. Connor West.
Yeah, he's been a star player the last 3 or 4 weeks.
He's getting into his opponents in the middle of the ground. Meanwhile, St Mary's works to centre half forward, goes beyond everyone. Dylan Lant works it out wide. Smithson kicks it high and long. Oh, is that going to go through? Just touched on the line. That was probably as close as you can get. And Connor West is still just getting in the ear of his opponent. Not happy at all. That will be the first half here.
And a 30-point lead to St Mary's. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. We're back shortly with the second half.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. King for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in this clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up. Bring it back, bring it back.
Top end footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top end footy. Nothing comes close.
seconds. When you guys are ready, just give Harley a thumbs up. You don't have to rush, just whenever you're ready, just give a thumbs up.
As we're back here at TIO Stadium for the clash between PINT and St Mary's, watching a few of the replays. Good grab there by Patterson's, had a really good second quarter.
Curtis McCarthy also, this one, goal of the night so far, absolute perler. Loved it as soon as it came off the boot. He and Patterson have been playing a pretty handy role, if not somewhat unsung by the commentators tonight. There'll be a potent mix coming up in the March and February final series. And St Mary's really just pulled away from PINT, who you think would have gone home. You can hear, or you can see Brad Ryan giving them a bit of a rev up at the moment, just trying to give them a bit of inspiration. They need to win this game more so than the men they're playing against tonight. They've got the bye in a few weeks' time. They've got the league bye next week, and then they've got Nightcliff in the final round, which means there's one golden opportunity for them to win some points early or later this season, and tonight presents a really good opportunity for them.
Yeah, they got blown away by Southern Districts a couple of weeks ago, PINT did, and tonight would have been their next big game they would be looking at. And, of course, they got the Tigers as the last game of the season. So at the moment, to be 27 inside 50s for St Mary's and 15 for PINT, it's surprisingly just only 30 points. So welcome back to AFLNT's Friday night coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League clash. Second, PINT versus third place St Mary's. I'm Nick Danks, and my commentary partner this evening is Will Zwar. And Will, it's going to be very interesting the first 10 minutes here for PINT and see what they can do to get back into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it could go a couple of different ways here, but I wouldn't surprise me if Saints really come out and put the pedal to the metal here as well. We've seen them do it a couple of times this year, absolutely blow teams out of the park. Last week was no exception to that. This might be an opportunity for them to come out and say, hey, you know what, we're not going to let you guys back into this, and we're going to show that even though we haven't been top of the ladder all year, we deserve to be there.
And the scary thing for me for St Mary's is a couple of players have had lukewarm nights, I suppose. Xavier Valacho, Ben Rioli's done a little bit. Paredes has had a pretty quiet night. So those guys, if they start coming into it, Jacob Long's another one, they could really put the pedal to the metal, as you said here, against PINT and put some real damage on the board. So it's going to be a very interesting first 10 minutes, and you'd think they would have to get a couple early.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about PINT probably have the key pieces they need to perform. They just haven't quite linked up well tonight. I think the scary thing is neither have Saints. They've got a lot of good talent out of the park, and I think they're playing far from their best. Barely gotten out of second gear, and that's against the second place side tonight.
And of course, very, very wet day last Saturday when both these sides played, one here, one across the road at DXC. So that would have taken a bit out of the legs on a short week, but even so, it's expected a bit more cleanness from both these sides, and with their handballs and whatnot. So it's going to be very interesting. But of course, St Mary's outstanding in the second half last week.
Underway we are in this second half, tapped down by McDonald. Again, he's been a dominant presence in the ruck all year. West gets a handball out, though. St Mary's winning it at ground level. And then West has another crack at it. Gets it out as he hits the deck. Now Faulkner doing it on ground level as well. Pushes it down the line. Bounces into Smith's arms. He works down the line, and Faulkner's there to return serve. A little bit of aerial ping pong going on. Now it goes into Crisp.
10 metre, 15 metre pass.
Looks to push it out to a runner. Ooh, not the best kick. Not sure if that was there either. That one come off the deck, but Davies will claim it. The umpire will pay it. Now to West, who's probably been the pick of the bunch tonight, you'd say, Danksy.
Yep.
He's almost had a couple of shots on goal as well, but he's been a really good presence on that half-forward line. Dribbled forward now by Patterson, and it's the wrong side of the goals.
Yeah, Connor West was the outstanding player last week and took them, was a key in play for them, and tonight he's done everything he's done has been fabulous.
Now in the hands of Griffin. He goes out to Rowe. Moves down the line looking for Wilson. Oh, he stands tall. Good mark there from Wilson from behind against a taller opponent. Just held his nerve. Then a short kick in. Rowe nearly got in the way there. But Boyer will keep running. He goes into the pocket now. Oh, well done there by Flag just to cut it off. Spiteri saying What sort of delivery do you call that? I need a little bit better service than that, thank you.
Yeah, the stingiest defence in the league, St Mary's. You're not going to do well against them with balls in like that.
31-point margin here. Rowe just putting some pressure on. And again, the St Mary's defence is hard to break through here. What tricks a Pint have? Gee, that's a good snap out of the pack. That'll be a goal straight up going the way of Boyer. He kicked the first of the first quarter. He's now kicked their first of this third quarter as well. His second of the night.
Absolutely, definitely what Pint needed there. And as you said, Boyer's got his second one of the night. Got the first goal of the game. And that one there, he's just snapped in, he's just snuck in. As we watch the replay here. It was a good one out of here. The ruck, he's just taking his time.
On a dime he turns, and that one snapped through very nicely.
Yeah, what Pint needed there is to get themselves right back into this game. They've, as I said, surprisingly, they're as close as they are. And handy 24 points now. Be nice if Pint could get the next one as well.
Up with the ball goes, tapped down by McDonald. Rowe picks it up, former Adelaide Crow. Kick cut off by Long. Now into Land, playing his 100th game tonight. Faulkner directing traffic ahead of him. Pushes out wide. Braunthal with the check side inside 50. That'll work, you'd think. Vallejo waiting. Paredes, he ran onto it. Tries to get a kick while he's being flung around on the ground. Couldn't get it away. Good intercept, though, from Rioli. Names like Paredes and Rioli, it seems like a team of old. I remember those names were still running around about 10 years ago when I first started calling commentary, Danksy.
Yeah, there's a couple of those names out there as well. And, of course, Land playing his 100th today. And some of those guys will be out, of course, next Saturday for the rep footy.
It'll be a great afternoon, that. As we've said, a few renewed friendships and rivalries. As it's territory versus territory there. Spears versus Heat.
Volleyball throw there, got away with it.
Now comes through. Kicked forward there by Boyer. Oh, Pint might be on here. Spiteri, he's run down, got a handball away. Truan trying to get through, and Saints just have more numbers back. A little bit more well settled. Long pushes it out wide.
Sorry, 6v3 then. You've got no way you're going to get past St Mary's with 6 defenders on 3 attackers when the ball bounces like that.
And their running back in defence has just been so good all season, St Mary's. I think, you know, where other teams think we might be on here with a counter-attack, there's no need to move because my teammates have it covered. St Mary's never say die, they never give up, and that's where you get those 6-on-3 contests, which you're just never going to win. A kick inside 50. Well, there'll be a free kick paid to Pint now for a late hit. Looks like it's going to go the way of Stevens, or it's going to be brought forward. So Jack Truan will have the kick.
Yeah, it was a late hit on the boundary line. The umpire's paid down the ground. And for anybody who wants a bit of a tighter contest tonight, this is an important one here for Pint.
Quirk of the fixture means that while others have a pretty easy run home, it's not as simple as that for Pint. Just the 2 games remaining after tonight. And 2 of those against contenders as Truan kicks through, and he loves that straight off the boot as well. So maybe they're opening up a window of opportunity in this second half, Pint.
Wouldn't be the first time this season we've seen a side down at half time and somebody come up over the top and run over and hit the lead and take the game away in the second half. So it'd be interesting to see if Pint can keep this one going. A couple of changes thrown there for St Mary's. Grant has come on. And Benny Rioli's just taking a rest. Bit better here inside 50s this quarter, 4-3 at the moment. A couple of goals on the board for PINT.
Land, and West in the middle. It's a hard midfield to stop, even against the likes of Southern Districts. Be a formidable outfit come finals time. They've still got a little bit of work to do before then. There'll be a free kick going the way of St Mary's. Rowe didn't seem too happy about it. And West, who's been targeted all night, he's also probably relented at the most, and at the moment he's coming away with my votes, which don't count for much at all. Now, well done there from Robinson. Braunful also gets a handball out wide. He's intercepted. PINT work it forward now. Comes off hands. Wilson. Now, Long, he's trying to break through. Grant puts a tackle on. Wilson at the bottom of it. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Lucky not get pinged then, because he picked that ball up and turned into the pack. And didn't never look like he was trying to get the ball out of there.
Bates and Grant just having a few friendly words with each other there. I'm sure a few pleasantries going between the two. Wilson, he's also been hard at it tonight as well for PINT. Jack Lant just bustles through a couple of players, now kicks to half forward. McCarthy takes the mark. No, he doesn't. Told to move. Thought he had enough of that. Comes over the top now to Paredes. There'll be a free kick going PINT's way for an incorrect disposal. He'll take advantage, move quickly. Not sure if advantage was there, especially not when Rioli's coming off the bench. Braunful, oh, he was just thrown to the ground by a shot. That's got to be a free kick his way. And Braunful not happy with the treatment he received from Shot and try to get it back to him. So he'll load up. And now pushes it to inside 50. Given back to Paredes. His kick smothered. Schwarzenberg will tap it down and try to go himself. Now comes back to Lance. He pushes it into the centre corridor. Came off at a right angle from where you thought he was going to kick it. Now running back through. I think that's Patterson who gives it back. Now loads up, looking for McCarthy at full forward. Off hands. Vallejo has a snap front and centre. He likes that one as well. Textbook stuff from the St Mary's forwards.
Yeah, give them half a chance, those forwards, those small ones there, Vallejo and Nick Yaron and so forth, and they'll take opportunity there. And Vallejo, who's been relatively quiet tonight, pops that one through to extend the lead for St Mary's. Back to 25 points. It was 8 points at quarter time, 30 at half time. Currently 25 points halfway through the third quarter.
And Vallejo is probably having a breakout season more so than anyone else. I think it's highlighted by 4 goals in that game against Nightcliff that we've talked about a couple of times already. He's having a really good season, and that goal is exactly what he's done that has really elevated his ranks in the side. Of course, it helps when you've got the same surname as the coach, Danksy, but in previous years where he's sort of been a fringe player, this year he's a key part of their sort of wing and forward rotations.
He said it's a big 4 weeks. He got 4 against the Tigers, 3 against Tiwi and 2 against Wanderers.
His first tonight just a few moments ago. And now that margin's still at 25 points. McDonald gets a tap down. Boyer in the middle. Announce worked forward for PINT. Couldn't be marked there by flag. Always paddles it through. How's the umpire going to call that? That one was I thought that was pretty close to being paid a deliberate rush there, Danksy.
Yeah, I'm surprised the umpire didn't play that, because the PINT player had moved off him. He was all on his own, but benefit of the doubt given, and lucky to get away with that one, I would think.
Rioli gains about 30 metres of ground, then just kicks it long and wide, looking for his captain in Lant. Davies, he works it forward now. Wilson. Oh, running back with a flight there, brave from Davies. Couldn't take the mark, and it spills out over the boundary line.
Watch a replay here of it. You can see there was no one near him, and that's about as obvious as you're going to get for a rush behind. It should be illegal, but umpire saw it differently.
That one wide will be taken there by Timms. And then Rowe tries to get a handball through. Saints are away though. They'll break the lines. Lance kick touched on the way. Lance handball, I should say, touched on the way through. And Vallejo, looks a bit ginger. Might have copped one in the guts there. Looking in all sorts. Meanwhile, Shot will go back and have a kick. Now, Amory trying to fight against 3. Where's the support for him? Nowhere to be seen as Boyer works forward now. Comes off hands. Handball back through traffic. Crisp to Grant, to Davies. Out wide. And now they go down that wing. McCarthy a long way from home, but maybe that's the target they need, a little bit higher from ground as Vallejo comes off for a quick swap.
Yeah, high ribs there. He's been knocked by the looks of the way he's gone down, but he's come off, ran off pretty quickly.
Musgrove goes high inside the forward 50. Yarran at the fall of it has a few to beat. Instead, he just brings it to ground. Then he gets a handball away very cleverly while he was lying on the deck. West trying to dance around a few. 45 out. His kick smothered. Pint just get it out of their back line. Might have even numbers. No, there's plenty of Saints there, so it's still going to be trouble. Spiteri almost run down by 2. Then gets a chip across. Now running through is Short, a long way from his defensive post. Picking it up here, Robinson. He's got a couple to beat. Maybe Pint's an opportunity here for them. Handball goes over the top. They should have kept it. I think they had a mark or a free kick there, and instead they've gone the advantage. Saints have made the most of it, and Lant takes the mark. Gives it off as they'll transition down that far side. And now it's dribbled forward there by Smithson and spills out over the boundary line.
Yeah, this defence from St Mary's absolutely outstanding there. They were all over their Pint were, but then, as you said, just played an advantage. They probably should have gone back and taken a shot, but St Mary's weren't going to give them a second chance.
Punched forward there. Very cleverly paddled in to the hands of Boyer. And then Stevens, he goes forward as well. Now marked by Brown. Turns and goes inside 50. Grant's done really well there to keep his feet and hold the tackle. I think the player at the bottom of it didn't know how he ended up in that conundrum, and Spiteri is left in the wake of the Saints as they leave their defensive 50. Paredes takes the mark on that far side. Now he goes to the top of the 50. Intercepted. Faulkner gives it through to Patterson. Now to Yarran. He chips over the top. West didn't have enough in his legs to get to it in time. Run down tackle. Play on. Offermans tries to get over the top to Patterson. Back through traffic. Now worked forward to Amory. Now through to Offermans again. West snaps around the corner looking for the top of the square. Punched, kept alive. Thought he should have taken the mark there. Double-fisted on the last line. They get a torpedo out. It'll be marked by Crisp. No, it won't. They might get away with it here, Pint. Although they'll have a few things need to go their way. Long gets it to Lance. Can't leave him open inside 50. He launches towards goal. Across the face.
It was a bit like a rugby scrum there for a moment next to that point post. They just couldn't get the ball out, and then, as you said, knocked across the front of the goals and should have taken the mark, but luckily for Pint, only ended up at a point.
Griffin looking down the line. Gee, that was a very testing kick to Short, and nearly St Mary's turned it over again, but Braunful just a bit too heavy there with his fingers on the way through, gave away the free kick. And so down the line, Pint go again. That one clears the pack, spills over the boundary line.
This is where Pint's gone down tonight, just that kick coming into 50. Just really haven't taken any strong marks, so it looked like they're going to get over the back. Every time they've managed to get it in front of goals, it's all been rushed and just not the standard football they used to play. Still only a 25-point margin.
Little ground gained in this quarter, Danksy. Just one goal to the Saints and just the 2 to Pint. So they are winning the quarter here, but it's been really little change to at the scoreboard overall as Paredes goes inside 50, tight angle. He'll just go to the top of the square, that one across the face. Not the worst result for them. They can make something of it, but maybe should have lifted the eyes a little bit there or committed more to the goal. It's a bit halfway in between there, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take a shot at goal then from that angle. He was well clear of his defender, but he's decided to chip it across and just sort of went into no man's land.
And when you look at the total scoring shots as well, Danksy, 18-8, that probably tells a bit better picture of the game we've got tonight. Not quite at the stage where you say Saints had rued their opportunities, but they could be much further ahead than the 25-point lead they hold at the moment.
Yeah, 37 inside 50s to 23. In favour, of course, St Mary's.
Straight and long down the middle, comes off hands. At the back is Long, dances through one, then to West. He just gets a handball forward. Oh, good coming off half back there from Boyer. Socket off the ground though by West. Long, he's getting more and more involved. Offermans gets it to full forward. A little bit of a fumble there from Smith, and he's run down by Lant. Got a handball away. Umpire let him go. Jack Lant it is this time. He hits the deck and he's copped a knee to the face unintentionally on his way through. I think he's copped a free kick against as well for a trip. I thought that was mighty unlucky.
Without to trip your face, but go on, umpire.
Now goes down the line, pushing it out onto the wing. And straight to the St Mary's defender. Robinson will just take some time off the clock. 18.5 minutes gone here, Danksy.
Yeah, I think when you do your votes for best three, I think the back six of St Mary's would have to get at least a vote for all of them because they've been outstanding tonight.
Handball over the top. Rowe running to the top of the 50. Good kick to the fat side there. And finally they get a genuine opportunity for a shot on goal. This will be to Noah Spiteri, who kicked one in that first quarter as well.
He kicked a good one in that quarter, just snuck it inside the right-hand post. Bring it back to 19 points with this one if he can get it.
It's been a handy target for them up forward in the games he's played this year. Considering the low score that they're on at the moment, you could say the same for tonight's game. He's just not getting enough of it at the moment.
It's a handy one though, back to 19 points difference. It was 30 at half time. And they're happy with that one. Another one here would be wonderful for PINT. Couple minutes to go this quarter. Still checking on Xavier Vallejo, still sitting there. He's just gone back out there now.
So Spiteri, bag of 4 last week, bag of 5 against Palmerston just before Christmas, and other bags of 3 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals. His first game up here, he kicked 8 against Palmerston as well. That was back in round 7. So knows how to find the big sticks. As we said, it's just a matter of getting the opportunity. Tonight there haven't been many. Yaron, he works it inside the forward 50 now, goes through hands. McCarthy slips over. Looks like it's getting a little bit dewy out there as the night goes on as well. Relatively overcast day, so not the most humid wet season day that you'd get in terms of the feel out there, but it just has felt like the skills have dropped off and people have been slipping over a little bit more the night's gone on, Danksy.
Yeah, the rain stayed away though because we are expecting a big storm here in the top end tomorrow morning.
Kick goes high, comes off hands, comes back to Spiteri. Can he kick his third? Rolls round. Oh, that one's been done beautifully, and he's got it. So maybe they're trying to bridge the gap here. That takes them to, I think they're up to 13 points now. No, just a behind. Got ahead of myself, thanks.
Just a behind?
18 points.
The scorekeeper's here, so 18 points in it though. That's outstanding from where they were though. Inside 50s 10-12 this quarter in favour of St Mary's.
Long. Looking for Faulkner. The big ruckman's come in from the side. And Pint just work it out. True, and he could go for a run here if he gets a kind bounce. Or he still might get it. No. Long will get it out to Yaron. Will come out to Musgrove. Back to Long. Oh, he gives it to his own advantage. Done that very nicely, Long, and then he'll turn back through. He's probably been one of the picks of the bunch in that back six as well. Oh, and then slipping over was Musgrove. Got a free kick away. They've done that very nicely, the green machine. Vallejo takes him up. Maybe there's time for them to get a little bit more on the scoreboard. Oh, that's not a good kick. McDonald has plenty of time to work here. Over the top to Wilson. And whistle blown. It's going to be brought back, no advantage, so a free kick to Pint.
Hard to get advantage there. There's again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 St Mary's defenders and 3 attackers. Pint, so 50. It's not going to happen. So Boyer kicked 2 goals, 1 in the first quarter, 1 in this third. He's kicked long down the line. Oh, gee, that's a heavy hit on the mark there. That one.
It's arguably more worth a 50 than the previous one that all the Pint fans were appealing for. Down the line he goes. Oh, Faulkner takes a mark. Good plunk there. Looking for Jack Lamb to fall of it. It's the second time he's almost had a shot. As the siren's gone, that one out of bounds on the full. But it means we've got a somewhat competitive 18-point margin here at three-quarter time, Danksy.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 points at quarter time, 30 points advantage to St Mary's at half-time, and back to 18 points now for Pint. 10 inside 50s to 15 for St Mary's in that one. So you're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 25-26 TIO NTFL season live on NT News and Community TV. We're back shortly with the final quarter of Friday Night Footy.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
Are you ready to beat the coach?
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot in this clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team.
Play now at supercoach.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch. Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Bring him up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Top End Footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Go! They're into front!
This is our game, our way, top-end footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back here to AFL NT's coverage of Friday night footy. Round 14 clash. We've got PINT and St Mary's who looked at a big quarter there for PINT. Had come back in this one from 30 points down. Well,
yeah, they have. It's they've still got a bit of work to do, and it doesn't quite feel like they've worked their way back on top of this contest. But to get within 18 points, it means that, you know, as you've said all night, they've got the talent to win this game, to win these sorts of games. They just haven't quite clicked tonight. So definitely a game on our hands. St Mary's as well, though, the scary part is it doesn't feel like they've gotten out of second gear. They've got a lot of work that they can still do to flex their muscles here on the rest of the competition. If you look at percentage, they are the best in the competition as well. They're sitting in third at the moment. I think after tonight, if they can win here, it will put them up to maybe just 2 points behind PINT, but then PINT have a bye in the next round as well. So you'd think that, you know, by the next time PINT play, they might be sitting as low as fourth.
Yeah, St Mary's got Darwin, Buffaloes, Waratah in their final game against Palmerston, so you'd have to think they were favourites in all three of those games. So a big run home there for St Mary's, and PINT said next week off, and then they've got Darwin, Buffaloes and the Tigers on the way home. Back in the final quarter.
West gets a handball out forward. Faulkner, he's trying to throw his muscle around. He's coming to the game in that third quarter as well. Now, Fraunfelder copped a hit as he got rid of it. He's been quiet tonight, Bailey Fraunfelder. Out now to West. Just telling him to settle down. And maybe, just maybe, we spoke about it briefly earlier, Danksy, but 18 scoring shots to 10. Should they be further in front, St Mary's?
Yeah, and it's inside 50s of 40 to 25, so they definitely should be more in front. And they've done it a couple of times this season, and last season, St Mary's, where they've got a lot of points and it's come back to haunt them in the last quarter, but still just can't see. White's going to probably have to get 4 goals this quarter.
Running into the forward line now, Offermans. Oh, he gets a kick away just as he was being pushed, and it impacted it, lands in the hands of Maloney. Patterson was sort of appealing for him. I don't think there's much he can do there. When he's tackled, he gets rid of it. Although they've turned it over here, Patterson gets the first of the final quarter. costly error there from Pine on the last line of defence, and Patterson will have his way in the end.
He kicked 2 goals last week at that end from about the same sort of distance, and absolute travesty. Major upset there from Pint's attacking side to let him through. And as I said, I didn't think they're going to struggle to score 4 or 5 goals this quarter, Pint, and now they're going to have to get 6 to get back in front, and I just think that's a settler for St Mary's.
His third of the night, Luke Patterson. And it's going to be even tougher here from Pint. You think if anyone can come back from a deficit like this, it's probably St Mary's, ironically enough.
Yeah, they certainly did. So we mentioned a couple of times on the Nightcliff game where they came from the clouds there and come over the top and defeated Nightcliff at home, which is very hard to do. I just don't see Pint here being able to get 5 or 6 goals and keep St Mary's from scoring another one.
Running through, there's Brown and McDonald. He just kicks it forward. Rioli, he takes it over the boundary line. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Donald takes it on the half volley. West breaks through. Gets a handball out there to Vallejo, and then Lant running through in game number 100. Not his best tonight, but still certainly had his contributions. Chalmers, he's got 2 to beat, and the boundary line beats them all in the end.
Yeah, I think West has been best on ground tonight. He's got missing the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. At that last quarter, he just sort of faded away, but he's already had a couple of touches this quarter and certainly been in really fine form in the last couple of weeks for St Mary's.
Tap down there by McDonald. Then out from Boyer. He's probably been one of the Pints' best tonight as well. A couple of goals to his name and come a long way up the ground to try and help get his team out of the hole that they've found themselves in throughout the night. Faulkner. This has been a pretty good clash in the middle as well. Faulkner a little bit more understated compared to some of the other rucks he competes against, but still holds his own. Now out to West. Dribbles it forward. Spills out over the boundary line.
It's been scrappy for the first couple of minutes of this quarter. One fluky goal there, or lucky goal there for Patterson.
Faulkner takes it out of the ruck, tries to work it forward. Land picks it up. His kick smothered. Oh, nearly slipping over there. In fact, he did slip over there, was Boyer. Lucky to get away with that one. Ball up inside the forward 50 for St Mary's. Tap down, rolled out of there. Comes off the chest into Wilson, wrapped up straight away by Rioli. Now kick forward. Saints still looking hungry at the moment. Pint seem to have lost their motivation that brought them back into it in that third term, Danksy.
Yeah, if the way this is going, St Mary's win today, there's a 2-point difference between second and third. Of course, Pint had that draw against the Nightcliff Tigers, but St Mary's have got a better run home, an easier run home, and Pint have still got one bye to go, where St Mary's had both of theirs. So this could be a big switch around from second to third.
Pint's pleading, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Saints. I think the Pint players were trying to say it was an incorrect disposal, but Vallejo will end up with the ball in hand. He already kicked a ripper tonight.
A really big knock in the middle came off. I was a bit worried about him, but he's gone back on, and his opportunity to kick his second.
Yeah, it almost felt like it was a gut punch or a rib punch, or not a punch, but a hit that just sort of knocked him a bit gingerly.
The way he came off rubbing, I think he'll tomorrow.
That one through for a point. I think he, along with Connor Wester too, who are really looking forward to the post-game ice bath and just get rid of some of those spots that we've gained tonight. Rioli puts a fist in and tries to intercept. Oh, he's done very well there. Handball goes over the top. Stevens, who just gets it out. There, down the line for Longfelder. Oh, Landers just absolutely shirt-fronted him there. That's got to be 50
yeah.
Every day of the week, and he's probably lucky it's just a 50. And the way he's talking to the umpire, he's still lucky it's not more. He just needs to take a bit of a chill pill, Jack Land.
Yeah, there was no need for that. It was a long way off the ball where he's come through. I understand he's trying to set his pressure. He's talking to the other umpire, but definitely there was no need to come in that far.
Well, Frauenfeld has passed off to Trewin, and they have not made the most of that at all. Now Dylan Lant, he just dribbles it out there looking for Musgrove. Jack Lance coming in for a second option. And then Chalmers, he centres it, looking for Rowe. I wonder if those two are playing with each other next week, thanks.
Yeah. I have to look that up because...
Now they go into the forward pocket deep. Flag, he takes it. He's been pretty solid in that back line as well tonight. Now comes through. Oh, McCarthy, if he gets a lucky bounce, could be away instead. Pint, or stripped to the ball there. Musgrove wondering where his free kick is. Comes out now to Jack Lant. Might get some Bronx cheers here. And I think he does. Umpire will say it's a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, Chalmers just said a few words to him as he walked past, and unfortunately there for Jack, he did slip on that one. He's had a pretty quiet night. That's probably why he's thrown a bit of weight around there for a minute, because he's certainly normally right in amongst everything, but tonight he's just loaded on the fringes a little bit.
Rowe gets a handball. Oh, heavy hit there, and then a little punch in there as well from Amory. Don't know if that was necessary on Harrison Marr, but Saints will work forward. Now McCarthy crosses the paint of 50, and he absolutely shanks that one. Should have made a lot more of that opportunity.
He could have walked all the way in there. Harrison May just taking a long time to get up after that knock.
I dare say that might get looked at. That was a really ugly little spot there that he had with the opponent. And this might be another 50-metre penalty. So Saints just need to cool their heads a little bit of poor discipline. They are 25 points up in a low-scoring affair, but they need to make sure that they still stay consistent. They don't have a lot of opportunities to play quality opposition in the remainder of the season. A game in round 17 against Waratah, probably their biggest opportunity. They might have a pretty big name lining up with them if reports are all in order. Forward the ball there, and free kick will go the way of Rioli.
Yeah, been scrappy quarter so far this one.
He's had a bit of a dirty night. Couldn't take that one cleanly either, and the Saints get it out of there. Not taken there by Mark Forster. And the Saints pick it, run away with it. Now the support he needed there from McCarthy. Maybe need a little bit more spread, but the Saints still have it working forward for them. That one pushed out over the boundary line by Pint, and I think that's got to be a deliberate free kick. It is.
Yeah, umpire put that one straight away.
Patterson, he centres it, looking for Paredes at full forward. Comes off hands. Pint should get away with it here. And now it's their turn to rebound. Kicking it long down the line. Grant. Back into Rioli. Now with Musgrove. Oh, nearly had his head taken off from behind there. Over the top he goes. Ball bounces wide and slips over the boundary line.
Yeah, the goal umpires haven't been very busy this quarter. It's
just the one goal scored, I think.
Yeah, 25 points difference at the moment. It was 18 at three-quarter time.
Patterson kicked the goal about a minute into the quarter, and since then, nada. Ball goes down the line. McCarthy, can't take the mark there. Yaron putting some pressure on. He'll keep going. He pushes a teammate out of the way just to lay the tackle. Turned over now with Robinson. He goes a short one inside 50. McCarthy on another lead. He's been leading all night here.
Yeah, I don't think you get a stat if you're tackling your own player. I don't think that one counts. McCarthy's going to push this one. He's going to have to go closer to the left-hand post here and just get that breeze to bring it back. It's swirling around a little bit, but inside and push it across with this breeze, the gap between the Michael Long Centre and the grandstand.
That one won't be a score. Across the face and touched out over the boundary line.
Don't forget 3 games on tomorrow. 2 o'clock at Tracy Village, Tiwi Bombers and Darwin Buffaloes. 6 o'clock at Gazales, Palmerston and the Nightcliff Tigers. And then 6:30 tomorrow night at Gardens Oval, Waratah and Wanderers. We'll have all those games for you tomorrow.
Ball still up for dispute in that forward pocket. Felder, I think it is at the bottom. No, it's Offman's just almost dived into his opponent there. Brown. The ball in that back line. They get it over the top to Shot. Run down by Lance. Umpire told him to play on, keep moving. Lant gets it to his brother Jack, who tried to tap it back to him, and then Dylan kept running, tried to run down Chalmers, comes out, Pint should be away here. Wilson gets a kick away, intercepted by Davies. Bear puts some good pressure on him, but Jack Lant bursts through, top of 50. He now pushed it long and high. Mark taken there by Ethan Smith. Last line of defence. He gives it to Stevens, but had a little bit too much on it. This might be their undoing. Braunthal tackled, gets a handball away. Faulkner, a little bit too much body contact. Grant tackles someone without the ball, and that's going to be a free kick against Grant.
Yeah, the umpire furthest away pad that one, but it definitely was a free kick. He flipped him over as well, and there's nowhere near the ball.
Smithson puts some pressure on. Now, a long way out. And Yaron, he almost goes cross goal. Good kick though. Weighted very well to Paredes, who takes the mark.
Yeah, he looked up and saw Paredes there and just put that straight across to him, and big opportunity to get the second goal of the quarter. There's a kick to goal yet tonight.
In he comes. Kicks, and he loves that one, Paredes. Margin out now to 31 points. I think that's a dagger in the coffin.
Yeah, I think it's a match high as well. It was 8 points at quarter time, 30 at half time, 18 points at 3/4 time, and St Mary's have come back in this quarter and now 31-point lead with just over 5 minutes to go.
Adds his name to the scorers list. Luke Patterson leading all comers tonight with 3. 2 to James Boyer for Pint. The major scorers for tonight's game. Like Paredes is now moved into the middle. Hasn't spent as much time there as he once did, but I guess with so much talent and options, he doesn't need to bust his gut all day. He can rest forward where he sort of has been tonight.
Yeah, they're throwing the Magnus around a little bit in this quarter, and certainly St Mary's have been on top.
Long. Again, looking dash. Just not giving up at all. Highly motivated in tonight's performance. Amory, he runs on till he gets back to Long, or tries to get around his opponents. He's done that very well with Amory, and now gets it back to Long. Sells some candy. He's got these two wrapped around his little finger, and then paddled out there from Offerman's to Amory. Not sure how they're working this out, but it still seems like they're gaining ground with it. Grant then puts a tackle on. Long ends up with it again. He's run down. Handball forward. And Amory gets it inside their forward 50. I don't know how the Saints have done that. They've almost done every trick in the book to not work it forward and still ended up working out for them. Meanwhile, Braunfels still on his haunches on ground level.
Avery Lock then must have had about 30 possessions that moved about 4 feet. But they got away, and at one stage it was 3 Pint players on one, and they just managed to chip it away as the ball comes back into play.
Tap down now, Dylan Land. Faulkner putting on chase. Throw at the fall of it. Offerman's try to get it out to his skipper. Faulkner, he takes it, snap towards goal. Needed a kind of bounce there, didn't quite get it, but that would have been something pretty special from the big fella. And Vallejo, he intercepts the kick out, will come into Grant. He overruns it as well. Amory, he tries to pick it up. Vallejo also on his haunches, he's trying to just stretch out a bit of a cramp there. Umpire calls for a ball up, just forward of centre for St Mary's. We tick towards 17, tick over 17 and a half minutes gone. Only a couple of minutes left in this one with a pretty low scoring final term here. Ball shot out there inside the forward 50 for St Mary's. Running onto it is Yaron. Tried to appeal for a held without it. Pops back into a Pint player's arms and he gets it out of the defensive 50. Campion slung around. Wilson, he pushes it forward. Mark not taken by Bear. Kept running though, although he loses his feet now, and Grant will pick it up pretty unceremoniously, you'd think. He now pushes it over the top to Smithson, who can hold it up. He's got options on this far side, though it will be a long kick to Davey George-Ewsbury. So instead he'll stay down that far side and look for his spearheads down the line. Offman's was the option, comes off his hands and over the boundary line. 32-point margin here, Danksy.
Yeah, a couple of tough weeks it's been for Pint. They had the draw with Nightcliff Tigers where they got away right at the end. They had a really tough one against Southern Districts. They lost by 71 points. Big one last week, they got up by 37 over Toohey Bombers at home. But tonight, it's a 32-point lead to St Mary's. And I said, Pint's got next week off. And then they play Darwin Buffaloes, and their last game of the season is Nightcliff Tigers at home.
Ball comes back in, and it's kicked into that forward line. Oh, spills out over the top. Will this roll through? I think it has. Is that a goal? St Mary's add more pain to Pint. For them, it's just pleasure. In the end, we'll have to work out who actually kicked that. It came from a long, long way back, but that's defied the odds. Bounced through the pack and dribbled over the goal line. 38 points the margin now, and they're almost double their score. Let's take a look at this here. Out of the pack, just hoik there. One, you think surely that's going to bounce into Patterson or Smith, and no, Patterson just let it go through. Great goal scored.
I think it was Curtis McCarthy.
So adds a second to his tally for the evening. So we tick over the 20-minute mark here at TIO Stadium. Paredes, Rowe, he picks it up, collects. Rowe overruns it. He's tried all night as well, as he has all season. Probably been one of their most consistent performers. Rioli. Oh, good strong tackle there. Not enough time though. Musgrove. Oh, I don't know if Rioli thought that's where that was going to go. Might have got themselves in a little bit of trouble here. Spills out over the boundary line, and Musgrove maybe could have made a bit more of that than he did.
Yeah, 38-point lead here with, I reckon, about a minute and a half to go with this game.
Josh Smith it was with that last goal. Miracle from about 60 or 70, which just bounced and bounced and bounced through. West picks it up now, trips over no one. Still on the ground as Offermans kicks it forward. McCarthy, hands in the back against him.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious.
Archie Stevens, a bit quieter tonight. Going to kick through there. Shot, he gets a handball for it. Oh, big, strong tuck. You don't want to run into Nick Yarra like that. Here he comes, the milestone man, 100 games. Oh, he fumbles it on the last line. Can he get a goal here? No! Who would have thought that he would do that, the dual Nichols medalist? He would have loved to celebrate with that, wouldn't he? And look at him. Oh, I think he half wants to crack a smile and he's half ruining the opportunity. Danksy?
Yeah, 30 seconds to go on the clock. That was running in as well. So it would have been a good way to end the night, but probably still going to get away with a 39-point win.
There's still time for him. He's sitting there at full forward. Can't be long left. Oh, talk about pleasure and pain. He thought that was one of the easiest goals he was ever going to kick. Wasn't to be, though.
Yeah, you could practice that at training during the week. Oh, that was a...
Taken there from Spiteri. Now to Rowe. Wrapped up by Flag. He's been very good tonight as well. Ping for holding the ball. And that will be a 39-point win in game number 100 for Dylan Lance. And a good way for St Mary's to set themselves up as they head into this last month before finals.
Yeah, running into that, it could have been a 44-point win, but they'll take away the 39. 8 points at quarter time, 30 at half time. Pine fall back in the third quarter, go back to 18 points, but then, of course, St Mary's have come away with a 39-point win. Your best players on the ground tonight, a couple of them?
I think I've got to give the 3 votes to Connor West. Even though he sort of dropped off that last quarter, I think he was there when the damage was done in that second quarter in particular. And then I'll give 2 votes to Jacob Long. I thought he was fantastic all night, and just his skills and his X-factor in class was probably a step above anyone else's tonight. And then it's a toss-up for that 1 vote between Ben Rioli, who I thought was really consistent, and Luke Patterson, who was the key forward there. But I'll give it to Rioli. I think the defenders were just fantastic tonight for St Mary's.
Yeah, I'm going to give all my votes to the back 6 of St Mary's. I think they've just been outstanding tonight. I've still got some concerns as we get into those big games against Southern Districts and finals footy, so against the Tigers. Just St Mary's forward line set up. I know they've got the great players in the small brigade in Malaysia and Paredes, and of course Jack Lamb and Dylan Lamb, but I'm just a bit worried about that big forward position as they get into finals. So my votes go to the back 6 there tonight, who've been outstanding all season. A quick one before we get out of here. We've got 3 games on tomorrow. Tracy Village and Tiwi Bombers. Tracy Village. We've got Tiwi Bombers and Darwin Buffaloes. Who do you fancy in that one?
Could be an upset, but I think I'm going to stick with the Tiwi Bombers.
And at Gazalies, we've got Palmerston and the Tigers.
Tigers will get it done.
Yeah, I think so. And Gardens Oval, Waratah and Wanderers.
I think Waratah will get it done. I think they need to, just to lock in that final spot.
Well, that's it, of course, and don't forget, coming up not that far away, we've got representative football as well on the 24th of January. We'll be there for that, and you and I will be here for that one as well. My name is Nick Danks. I'm joined by commentary partner this evening, Will Zwar. It's been a pleasure to host this evening. We'll catch you next time.